And we are ready to go. Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday, and it's about that time. Although, Troy, I'm looking. We're a little late today.
Well, we're never late.
Never late. The only reason I bring that up is because it's a new year and, of course, a new episode. Welcome, everybody, to Zia Comics Weekly. What's up, Troy? How's it going? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
How was the new year? Of course, bringing in 2022. How was you weren't even off, really, were you? Huh? You guys were still open
on Christmas Day. Was the only day. Yeah.
Oh, so New Year's resolutions for 2022.
I try not to make those.
Okay,
I don't like to disappoint myself.
Yeah, I was saying earlier this morning on the show that I'm going to start my New Year's resolution in February. And that's to get back on the diet.
Chinese New Year.
Yeah. See, there you go. We're thinking the same thing, Troy, today. Of course, new episode today. Welcome, everybody. Remember, you can join in on the conversation. Remember, you can comment. Let us know what you guys are thinking. If there's something you guys want us to discuss, let us know as well. Of course, we got quite a bit to get to today for today's episode, leading in from our episode last week where we did kind of a recap of everything that was 2021 and bringing you into this year. And there's quite a bit that we got to discuss today. And we got to start off with, which I want to bring this up, Boba Fett. Couple episodes already in. What are your overall thoughts? We're 2 episodes in. What are your thoughts so far?
Loving it, man.
Okay.
Have you been watching it?
No, I told you I'm gonna wait. By episode 3, I'm gonna do like a little mini binge session, so that way I can get hyped for it.
A lot of Easter eggs, a lot of fan service in there. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but in episode 2, you do get to see the first screen appearance of a character. He's been in the comics, and I have a feeling this character is going to cross over into the Obi-Wan series.
Okay.
It's you haven't watched it, but it's Black Chrysanthemum. He's a Wookiee.
Okay.
Big. I can give you the backstory on him without spoiling anything. Big Wookiee, black haired. He disgraced the Wookiees, so they banished him.
Okay.
And he became a bounty hunter. He became a pretty fierce bounty hunter. And what you'll notice in Boba Fett season 2, there's no scar. He has no scar on his face. That's because later on, Obi-Wan cuts him with a lightsaber, and across his left eye, he'll have a scar.
Okay.
So that's why I'm thinking he's going to cross over into Obi-Wan and get his scar.
So we're breaking down the timelines, and you mentioned, of course, obviously, this is how we think it's going to tie in. So break this down for me. Maybe you can help me out. So the Mandalorian obviously led into Boba Fett. So where would all this, as far as the timeline, when it comes to Star Wars, where do you think this all kind of lands as far as like towards the beginning? Like where does this land in the world of Star Wars?
It's definitely after Return of the Jedi, because Boba Fett gets out of the Sarlacc pit.
Okay.
So it's between that Return of the Jedi and when whichever the fourth movie.
Yeah, a lot of movies to remember, by the way.
There's a big timeline that breaks it all down, but it's right before the time when he runs into Mandalorian.
Okay.
Or actually, no, it's after. It's a little bit of both, because he has a lot of flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right in that time frame with the Mandalorian.
And of course, Boba Fett, the book of Boba Fett is on Disney Plus for you guys to be able to check out. Now, something that we came across earlier this week, Troy, and I wanted to get your thoughts, and I actually wanted to ask you this question. If I was to ask you what was the most streamed show on Disney Plus, what would you say it was?
On Disney Plus?
Disney Plus. And we got a lot of good content. For those that didn't see the year in review for 2021, go check that out, because we covered a lot. But what would you say was the most streamed series for that?
Movie, I would say maybe Black Widow. Wait, was that on Disney
Yeah, that
Plus?
was on. Yeah. No, but that was on Disney Plus. That's right.
I'm thinking probably for movie, but series? Oh, I don't know. Hawkeye did well, but I don't think as many people watched it. So I would have to be one of the Mandalorian seasons.
You're going to laugh when I tell you the answer, because it was not a Marvel series and it wasn't a Star Wars series. It was actually The Simpsons. It took the #1 spot as the most streamed thing on Disney Plus.
They pulled all the Simpsons seasons.
And then this is where it gets interesting. The second most streamed. Can you guess?
On Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't know. That threw me for a loop. I'm still
the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was #2 of the most streamed TV show
Did they
on
make a
Disney
new
Plus.
iteration of it?
Yes, they have a cartoon version of the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and this has become very popular. And Marvel didn't even make Marvel or Star Wars. And keep in mind, we had some great shows in 2021. No Marvel or a Star Wars series
In the
made the
top
top
two.
three.
Three.
Top
so what
three.
was the third one?
There was another child's cartoon. I can't even remember what it
Ah.
was called. I think it's called Bluey. I'm not too sure, but I was a little disappointed because a lot of us talked about these Marvel and these Star Wars series.
So they paid billions of dollars for Star Wars for them to come in number 4.
And the Simpsons, which is still, I mean, I forget often that, Simpsons is on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I mean, what they have over 13 seasons. Right?
Yeah.
Still, I think they're still going.
I think they got more than that. We got to double check on that and see how many. But yeah, Simpsons was the most streamed show on Disney Plus for 2021.
I know they're talking about making another Simpsons movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if this gave some new life to the Simpsons.
It must have. And we have seen some special versions of it. I mean, I believe there was a Mandalorian Simpsons.
Yeah.
They did have that. I believe they've, been, wrestling with having these other type of specials. Obviously, their Halloween, their Treehouse of Horror always does really good when it comes to ratings. So,
and all the Simpsons tell the future episodes that they keep bringing up.
Oh my gosh, they predict the future.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Let's move along to Netflix, and one show that I did binge watch. I actually watched. This is how I bring in the 2022 Cobra Kai season 4.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm about halfway through, but I'm loving it so far. And it's one of it's Netflix's number one, since we're rating things out.
Yeah.
Right. It's their number one streamed movie. It jumped to the top really quick, and they said it's on pace to break Netflix streaming records.
Yeah. And at the rate that and looking at the Cobra Kai series, they obviously were well prepared as far as when it comes to production, because I believe they already have the next season already in the can, ready to go.
That's what I've been reading.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's groundbreaking writing or, anything really great. It's just, I think it's the nostalgia that's catching everybody.
And that's what I was going to talk to you about is it that we're just, because, a lot of us, watch the Karate Kid, 1, 2, and 3. Some of us maybe even watch the next Karate Kid. There's some that like the Jaden Smith Karate Kid. But is it that nostalgia that we're just excited to see in a series like that? Because let's be honest, I mean, the movies were good. They weren't like groundbreaking, but the series is just impressive.
It's a lot of self-referential stuff too. They keep calling back things that happen in the movies in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it because it's kind of, when you watch the movies, everybody thought, oh, LaRusso is the good guy and everything. But this one is kind of showing you a different side, and it's showing you the LaRussos are a little overbearing and trying to push and get their way. And I love the fact Johnny's stuck in the 80s.
There's an episode where he tweets for the first time, by the way. I'm not going to spoil everything, but it definitely just goes to show that some of us at our age do not need to be on certain social media platforms. I'll just say that. You're right. He is stuck in the 80s. Yes. I mean, last season he was learning Facebook. So, I mean, it's great. What have been your thoughts so far? And I don't know where you're at as far as episodes, but as far as season 4, what are you thinking? Best season we've seen so far? I mean, they continue to.
I think they keep building. I think each season builds on itself, and we're getting more depth into the characters. A lot of the characters are transformed, going through their transformations to different mindsets. And I'm liking it so far. I like that they keep bringing back the old people in there. They brought back the love interest of Johnny and Daniel last season. This season, it's not a spoiler because he's in every trailer. They're bringing back the Terrence Silver character. A little more grounded in reality this time. It's still crazy.
Yeah.
But I love how it keeps referencing that, because I grew up watching those movies and I can't get enough of them.
It's great. And for the series, it does introduce a whole new audience. That's one of the great things that we love about these revivals and, movies that we've seen go to TV series. We got to remember with Cobra Kai is I call it one of those special series, because if you remember, this started off on YouTube was it
Yes.
YouTube TV? It was
YouTube Plus. Or
YouTube
one
Plus.
Of the, yeah, it was a YouTube only
Mhm.
for the first season, maybe 2. Then it got picked up by
Yeah.
Netflix.
YouTube Premium, I believe that's what they called it. I can't remember.
There's so many different YouTubes now.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube Music, Red, YouTube Plus TV. It's so many, but it's amazing to see that. I guess in the right hands, a show that was on one platform, if you put it in the right place, the audience, there's a home for it.
Yeah, well, Netflix has a lot bigger audience than the YouTube Premium did,
Mhm.
so that probably helped a lot, get it exposed to more people. An interesting note: the kid who plays Miguel,
Yeah,
is going to be the new Blue Beetle in the new Blue Beetle movie.
I saw something. I was
Jaime
reading that
Reyes,
headline. Yeah,
he's based out of El Paso.
really?
In the comic books, right down the road.
Okay.
So that character in the movie, maybe they'll film some of it in El Paso. I don't know. So keep your eyes open for extra opportunities.
Yeah. Break down Blue Beetle for us. Can you give us some insight a little bit about Blue Beetle?
Well, his version of it, there's been several, but there's a ancient alien scarab that he finds out in the desert in El Paso, and it kind of bonds to him and gives him this armor and all these alien superpowers.
Okay. I'm confused because I know there used to be a TV series, and this was supposed to go. I want to say it was against what the Power Rangers were. I think they were called Beetleborgs. It was way back. And I see when I first saw that and I looked, I was like, wait, this has nothing to do with that series, which I'm like, why would they make a movie off of that? But obviously there's a whole nother catalog out there that people are going to get excited about. So
yeah, hopefully, like I said, it's pretty much local being in El Paso. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. You may just see if we can be an extra in that movie and we'll be in the background. I've mentioned this in the past on the big show that one of my goals is to be a part of a movie, whether it's an extra. I want to be the person that's in the background. I'm going to figure it out.
Being an extra is no fun.
I've heard it was kind of fun. If you do it with a group of friends, it's fun. But I've heard both sides.
That Gary Oldman movie, The Space Between Us,
yes,
at the spaceport. It was 14 hours that I was there, and they used maybe a minute of it and I'm actually in the trailer.
Are you?
A couple seconds. You see my bald head down there in the bottom.
See, you made the trailer, so yeah. See, at least you could show like, hey, I was in the movie.
14 hours for that 2-second clip. I have to stop and slow down in circles. I'm right there.
And I'm excited. You know, we mentioned movies being filmed in this area. I'm excited to see because there are going to be quite a few films that have been filmed here. I mean, from The Locksmith to I know they finished filming the Chupacabra movie here in this area. There's quite a few films that I'm curious to see is how they're going to use the Las Cruces, Mesilla Valley background in these movies.
Well, I know the Bruce Willis one they filmed just right across the road here. The fourth night or something night, and they used it because of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually see in a lot of the clips I saw, you can see the plaza in the background and different recognizable buildings from the area.
Yeah.
Only recognizable to people from this area probably, but.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, I think for a lot of us, we recognize, when we see, Las Cruces in some of these movies. I know there was the movie that they had filmed here not too long ago. It was with, oh my gosh, now his name is, he was in Gran Torino.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, when he was filming here. I know when they filmed here for the movie that he had, a lot of us were looking at that backdrop. And I mean, obviously, it's cool to see Las Cruces in the movie.
And Due Date.
Yeah, Due Date.
When they jumped off of the overpass.
I know so many people that were mad with Due Date because of the closure on Highway 70.
Yeah. That's when I was still working out at White Sands.
So yeah,
we
were getting the calls about are they closed today for filming? Are they not closed? When are they closing? And yeah, I remember. It seems like that was just yesterday, right?
Yeah, that's been several years.
Oh my gosh. All right. Some other things to cover today. Working along as far as what we got coming up. Breakdown Umbrella Academy season 3. What can we expect for season 3?
Did you watch season 2?
I actually have not seen Umbrella Academy.
Oh, neither season.
I haven't seen either one.
You should you should probably binge those and get ready.
So is my homework?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got homework. All right.
At the end of season 2, they do a lot of time travel.
Okay.
To break it down for you, Umbrella Academy, these, I can't remember, there's a certain number of kids that were born to mothers who were not pregnant at the time.
Okay.
It was just like this freak occurrence. All this, all of a sudden, boom, they gave birth. There was like 100 and some of them, and they all came out with special powers. And this guy was going around and adopting the ones that he could. He ended up adopting, I think, 5 of the 100 and some. So there's a bunch of them still out there, but a lot of them turn into villains and other stuff. But under his guidance, he tries to turn them into forces for good.
Okay.
And one of them can jump in time. And they do a lot of time jumping. And this at the end of season 2, they went back in time and changed a bunch of stuff. They came back, and instead of it being the Umbrella Academy, which is what he called his school for them, it was called the Sparrow Academy. And there was 1 or 2 that were the same, but a couple of the kids were different. And that's how they ended season 2. They're like, oh, what's going on? So we're going to see, and the good thing is, this is based off a comic book written by Gerard Way. Jackie knows it.
Jackie knows.
From was it My Chemical Romance? Yeah, he's the driving force behind this. They're making the next season, and the material that it's based on hasn't even been released yet.
Okay.
So the comic book or graphic novel or however they're going to release it it's still not been published. So I'm waiting to see, if they're smart, they're going to put them out same time or close to the same time. But either way, man, Gerard Way, that guy thinks differently than the most.
Wow. And and with them not releasing the comic just yet, is there going to be that added pressure, I guess, to kind of get the comic and the series kind of linked together, or does it open up the creativity for them to be able to go in a certain direction, cinematically, than they would the comic? Because I tell you, sometimes when you look at comics, especially when you break down some of our Marvel characters, I think a lot of us look at that and as a reference point to see they can possibly do that on camera. So, I mean, I wonder how that's going to break down for them.
Well, a lot of them, the cinematic stuff is altered from the books anyway, because you get the super nerds who want to spoil it for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I read that book. This is what happens. And they did that with, all the way Walking Dead even. It kind of follows the same path, but it's a little different in spots, so that keeps people guessing. And I'm fine with that. Comic books retcon or reinvent themselves all the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if it's going to follow closely. I mean, the other seasons have followed his material pretty close, so I'm thinking that maybe this will too.
We'll see. We'll wait and see what happens.
Can't
of course, season 3 gonna be. Is it already out, or
it's coming out sometime this year? They haven't given us a exact release date. At least I haven't seen it.
That's one thing about 2022 is a lot of the release dates that we drop on the show, it changes. Morbius being one of those. I was reading something yesterday that Morbius is the movie that has been it's been changed so many times in recent years. I mean, obviously, because they have to go back and refilm something, or with the pandemic that's been going on, there's always changes. So a lot of these dates do change, and then next thing you know, you get on HBO Max or Netflix or Hulu, and next thing you're like, oh, it's available now, like, because that's how I was with Cobra Kai. I thought Cobra Kai came out on Christmas, and then I completely spaced it, and then one day New Year's Eve, I'm like, oh, it's out. Okay, guess what we're doing today? Show that I know you and I are excited for, Peacemaker. Next week it comes out. We finally get to see Peacemaker.
Yeah, HBO Max, I believe.
Yes.
DC and Warner Brothers are tied like that. Have you seen the newest trailer?
I have not seen the newest trailer.
Oh god, it just keeps getting funnier and funnier, man.
So we are going to get the comedic side of DC.
It's almost, I would compare it to DC's version of Deadpool, maybe.
Yeah,
he's just so over the top violent, and it is peace no matter how many people I have to kill for it type thing.
Violent, obnoxious, probably not that smart too.
Unaware.
Yeah, unaware. The trailer, or the little bit that I've seen, there's an eagle for some reason, and
it's his pet.
Yeah,
Eagly.
See, I mean, you guys do the math with that. But John Cena's Peacemaker, HBO Max, July 13th.
January 13th.
Oh, July. See, I'm already.
Don't scare me.
So wait, that got delayed already?
Yeah,
no,
they've been pushing.
Next week, you'll be able to watch the latest, and this could be the jump start. I know we mentioned last episode that there's some things that DC needs to do, and this could be that move that kind of pushes them forward.
Take Marvel's blueprint, because it works.
Yeah, and James Gunn knows how to. I mean, the Suicide Squad was a really good movie, and James Gunn was behind that.
Yeah.
So take, like you said, take the blueprint. Take the blueprint and run with it, because what else do we get from DC this year? This year, or at least into the future, in the next couple of years. I mean, we've talked about Black Adam.
Yeah,
that's coming.
I can't wait for that one. But that's The Rock. I'd watch him read the phone book.
Yeah. You also got, let's see, I want to say you got that one. They're supposed to be making a Shazam sequel. Shazam should be coming out.
And Shazam was underrated. I don't think it got the due that it deserved.
I thought Shazam was very good.
Yeah.
When you break down a lot of, superhero movies, I don't know if it's because people weren't familiar with the character from the comics. I think people got to give that one a chance. I think that's definitely one people need to.
Yeah, and Zachary Levi pulled that off perfect.
Yeah,
channeling a little kid.
Man, we're kicking it back with the old school with this next one. Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. Wow.
On Apple TV only. Yeah, they've been showing a lot of stuff on Apple TV from Fraggle, and I think they had a movie prior to this one that did really well.
Yeah.
Before this, I mean, what did Apple TV have? Ted Lasso, I think, was the biggest.
Yes,
thing.
Ted Lasso, and that's a show that I want to see, but I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, me either.
But that's one that I want to catch that one. But you say Fraggle Rock, and
that might be the deciding point.
Right? I mean, let me tell you. I mean, I don't mind watching because I believe Apple TV also has the Peanuts characters. They also have, I believe, some shows from the Peanuts. They actually have their own TV show on Apple TV.
A newer show?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm so far behind. I haven't heard about that. So
there's a lot to keep up. Many of us have so many different streaming services, and Apple TV is definitely one that people might want to think about getting in 2022. Fraggle Rock, though. My gosh, I sound old saying that.
That will be that's your deciding thing.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso, maybe. Fraggle Rock, sign me up.
Yeah. You know what though? But I got a kiddo that I want to show him the old school.
Uncle Traveling Mad.
Yes.
Globo,
I mean,
the Doozers.
You got to show him all the old school. If you don't, I mean, I'm sure there's some great cartoons that have been made in the last year or so, but you also want them to see kind of like the stuff that we kind of grew up with, and make them make their decision if they like that or if they're going to watch TikTok. I mean, we'll see. But January 21st, Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. You'll be able to check that out if you have Apple TV. And I know Apple does a really good job of when you purchase their products, they do give you a year of Apple TV for free. I've noticed that with those that have bought, iPads, iPhones. I'm a Samsung guy, so I don't have an iPhone. So yeah,
that'd be a good excuse to get an iPad.
Our producer Martine is probably smiling right now because him and I are both. We have this issue at work. Him and I are Team Samsung, and Jackie is Apple. So she's Apple products all the way. So we might need to borrow her account to watch Fraggle Rock. So Jackie, we're borrowing your account to watch.
Jackie, hey,
you guys can hear her right now. She's just like, don't you ask me for my account.
Shaking her head, no.
Batman with possible new Robin. Talk to me. What's going on?
Yeah, he might be getting it. There's been a lot of people be Robin to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, they even covered it a little bit if you watch the Titans on HBO Max, now they're streaming.
Yeah.
They cover that because they give Batman a hard time because he keeps bringing in these kids and putting them in danger, basically. And they call him out on it.
Yeah.
But in the comics, there's a new girl, Mia Maps Mizoguchi. She is.
I'm glad you said that name, by the way, because I was worried. I was like, I'm not gonna know how to say that last name.
It all morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's probably going to be the new Robin. She she was in Gotham Academy. She's one of those fan favorite characters. No superpowers whatsoever. Mm-hmm. She's just really good with maps, of course, with the name Maps.
Yeah.
And she's pretty good detective-wise. So that's not a good combination if you want to hang out with Batman. You need to have something.
We're going to go get in trouble, but read me the map.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but he's got Google Maps, right? I mean, right. I'm sure it's built into the Batmobile.
Yeah, he's got to have something.
Hey, Siri, how do I get here? I don't need you, Maps.
Sorry, Maps. You can hang back on this one. But I never thought about that because if you think about it's always been Batman and Robin, of course, obviously, a young kid. And I never thought like you're always putting him in danger.
Yeah.
So why would you do that?
Yeah,
But
not just danger, but life-threatening danger. You're going against the biggest supervillains in Gotham.
yeah.
So it's all right. I'll take it. And Batman has no superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
He's just rich and really athletic.
I was gonna say, does Batman really have superpowers, or does he have super amounts of money?
Just like he said in the movie. What's your superpower? I'm really rich.
That's a superpower that I want. You know, if we ever get asked that question, what superpower would you have? I want to be super rich. Everyone always says, because I've been guilty of it too. I want to fly. I want to be invisible. I want to turn into flames.
So that would be your superpower.
I want to be rich. Well, why not? We can be super rich.
I never thought about it. I think maybe invisibility would be a cool one.
Invisibility?
Yeah. Have you seen The Boys?
No, I haven't. I do want to watch that. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
Translucent. He's pretty debauched though. He goes around. He can be invisible, and his skin is kind of impervious also. And to be invisible, he has to be naked.
Okay,
yeah. And they catch him a few times in the women's restroom. They're like, "Get out, translucent."
Yeah, no,
okay.
I don't think I don't want that. Yeah, I'll pass on that one because
the Boys is very violent, very debauch. It's very. If that stuff bothers you, don't watch it.
I saw something about The Boys, which actually got me. It sparked my interest because someone said there's a character on there that's resembling to Superman.
Mm-hmm. Homelander.
Yeah, and they said that he could beat Superman.
You know, that's that age old.
Yeah.
Could Goku beat him?
Oh, Goku could. Oh, no, that one is.
And then you started getting into the, well, is it under Earth's yellow sun or is it? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, but he is pretty much. There's a lot of parallels in The Boys because Garth Ennis wrote it as a parody of the superhero genre, and it shows superheroes if they were like normal people, how corrupt and other things. There's some sick stuff that goes on in that show.
Well, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're selling me on it right now, so
yeah,
I'm all for it. Nicolas Cage. Here's something that we didn't know. By the way, Nicolas Cage has a movie that's going to be coming out this year, where it's really meta. Nicolas Cage. Yeah, very meta about Nicolas Cage. But something interesting. Nicolas Cage was almost a part of a movie that I don't know how that would have played out. Talk to us, Troy.
Well, he was in an interview, and they were talking to him about it. And Francis Ford Coppola is his uncle, because his real name, I think, is Nicholas Kim Coppola. He just goes by Nic Cage. He begged to be in Godfather III. He wanted to be Victor Corleone. Was that Sonny's son?
Yeah.
He begged and begged, and thankfully, Francis Ford Coppola said, "No."
Yo, Nicolas Cage in The Godfather, though.
I have a hard time. Can you imagine his acting style? Because instead of Godfather 3, he went and did Peggy Sue Got Married. If you've ever watched that movie, he went way over the top on that character.
Yeah.
So I'd hate to see.
It probably wouldn't have worked out. And I mean, it's one of those movies where I think we're like, thank God he didn't do that movie, because I mean, how would it have turned out in the long run? But we've seen that so many times where we hear from actors that they've passed on movies in the past that we're like, I don't think it would have worked out with you. And we've heard that from Will Smith numerous times. How many roles has he passed on that we're like?
But then again, he may have reinvented Godfather. Because I mean, look, when Michael Keaton, they picked him to be Batman, what was he in before that? Mr. Mom and a bunch of other comedies. Everybody threw a major fit when they picked Michael Keaton. I remember when it first came out, you're ruining Batman. How can you pick it? And in my mind, he's one of the top two to play the role.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the favorites. I think when you mentioned Batman, I think he was, if he's not, like you said, not the top, he's usually, second when it comes to that. But I just don't know with Nicolas Cage. But Nicolas Cage, I believe he's had so many opportunities to be in so many movies that there always is something else that comes along. And I'm pretty sure there's roles that get offered to him, and then he just happens to take a Gone in 60 Seconds. And it's like, okay, what did we avoid him possibly being in? So
maybe we'll see Con Air 2.
The return of the Con. Let's you mentioned Batman. Let's okay, I gotta ask you. Top Batman. Who takes the top spot as your number one Batman?
The person who portrayed him
the best.
I think I think Val Kilmer got a short stick. I still didn't like his Batman, but I think he gets a lot of crap that he shouldn't get for it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like Clooney.
I was going to say, I was like, I didn't care for Clooney's.
We haven't seen Robert Pattinson's yet.
I think a lot of people are jumping to conclusion for Robert Pattinson because he's so tied up to the Twilight series that we got to give him a chance. And then I think after the movie, then we'll make our opinions about it, form our opinions. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think people have already kind of put him with the George Clooney's of the Batmans, and the movie hasn't even come out yet.
Clooney with the bat nipples, but that was Schumacher's fault.
Yeah, that really was. So number one Batman for you.
Oh man, that's tough. I would have said Adam West until I actually met the guy, and he turned me completely off.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not a nice guy.
Oh.
Wow, there's been so many people that played Batman. And I hate to go with the Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's. But, that was the turning point for Batman, after all the campy stuff that they did with right before that. So I'm gonna stick with Bale.
Yeah.
That's a safe one.
Yeah, Bale really revived the series. I mean, because after that movie, before that movie, we had which I thought was it was more comical than anything, was the George Clooney, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had, it's
Beetlejuice Batman.
Yes. Yeah. It was at the time like, okay, cool. We got another Batman. But if you really look at it, I think the Christopher Nolan series of Batman, I think it did really good. And I think it really stuck to a lot of people. They got people excited for Batman. And I think if we would have stayed on that theme, maybe they would have had that much, if not more success than Marvel sticking to that type of movie, because it was just, I could tell you, I remember when the movie The Dark Knight came out, how we were lined up at Telshore 12. You have that line going from almost to Kmart. Yeah, Kmart used to be open back then. The line that far back for people to go watch this movie. And I don't know if we're going to exactly see that with Christian Bale. I may be wrong, but Christian Bale with Twilight. Robert Pattinson. I know I call him Twilight.
I think that was good for its time, that dark and brooding, but I think it ran its course. Yeah. I think people got tired of the emo feel of Batman. And with the Affleck, you saw they even tried to inject humor a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they saw the Marvel thing. Little humor, a little action. Little humor, a little action. Defeat the villain, end.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot, and we'll see. Let's not jump to conclusions on the Robert Pattinson Batman just yet, because I do want to go see the movie. I really want to go check. I know my wife wants to go see it because she liked the Twilight movie, so we're going to be seeing it for obviously two different reasons. So we'll see how that one works out. Dead by Daylight. Talk to us a little bit about Dead by Daylight.
Oh, the video game. It's been around for a while, since I think 2016. But there's they pull in a lot of the movie serial killers and survivors and stuff. Leatherface is one of those characters. They had a big controversy because you were able to skin some of your victims and wear their face, because that's what Leatherface does. And one of those victims was a black person, and when they put it on with the eyes and mouth showing through, it looked like blackface. And there were some people who were just jerks. They would put that on and they would walk around in the game pantomiming blackface stuff. So they ruined it for everybody. No. So they pulled that ability out of the game. You can no longer wear somebody else's face. Yeah,
I was going to say that's probably a call that they needed to make, especially. Yeah. So are you into gaming?
I used to be, not so much anymore, but I don't even we don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation at the house right now. No. We sold it. I just don't have time. I'm trying to keep up with all these TV shows.
I know, obviously, there's so much going on. Before we go, talk to us about what we got. It's brand new month at Zia Comics. What do we got? What's happening at Zia Comics?
We're swinging back into doing a lot of in-store events. First Sunday of the month, we did the paint and take, where you come in and pay, and you get a little miniature, and one of our employees will instruct you how to paint it up and make it look really cool to use in your D&D campaign, or with Games Workshop. There's a bunch of stuff for minis you can use. We had all the with free comic days coming up, but new comic book days, what I meant to say, every Wednesday. Every Wednesday the new comics come out and put them on the shelf. You can come and get them off the shelf or get a subscription, so you don't have to worry about missing out on any cool titles. Just look at our calendar of events. We try to keep it updated as best we can. We try to have something going on, a few things every week, just to keep people busy and occupied, because sitting at home for the past 2 years, people want to get out and do things.
Yeah, and you got a lot of great stuff here at the store, and it's always something exciting. And now that the holiday season is over, and now you're kind of back into, well, what are we going to do this weekend, or what do we have going on? They can come pay you guys a visit and come see what you guys have to offer, and just some of the fun stuff that you guys got going on around here.
Yeah, definitely. And especially if there's events going on in the plaza, it's a no-brainer. You come enjoy that, come over, check us out, get something to eat at one of the places nearby, spend your whole day downtown.
Perfect. Well, guys, of course, we're getting ready to wrap it up with another episode of Zia Comics Weekly. Remember, you can follow them on social media. You guys are on TikTok as well, I saw.
Yeah. Most of them, we don't do Twitch.
Yeah, no, Twitch, that's one we got to learn. We'll figure that one out eventually one day. But also they can follow you on the Gram and Facebook as well, right?
Yes.
All right. So, see, easy to follow them. You can find him anywhere, and if you can't find him on social media, just walk down to Zia Comics.
If you can't find, you're not looking. Just Google Zia Comics. We're everywhere on there.
And with Hot 103, we thank you guys so much for checking us out for another episode of Zia Comics Weekly. Remember, you can check out the video, share these videos, get involved in the conversations every Thursday at 11 o'clock. Of course, we broadcast from here from Zia Comics, telling you guys all things nerd. There's always a lot of things going on, whether it's in the comic world, whether it's manga, whether it's your favorite streaming service. We're covering it right here on Zia Comics Weekly. Make sure you guys like this video, and make sure you guys check out Hot 103's Big Show on Facebook as well. And I think I've about covered everything. I probably should have wrote down a list of everything we needed to cover. Until then, guys, we'll see you guys next week on Zia Comics Weekly.
Later.